everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make authentic Italian chicken parmesan. So to start, I take boneless chicken and pound it down to about 1/4 of an inch. I would recommend using an actual meat tenderizer, but I didn't have one at this moment, so I had to utilize what I had available. Don't worry, I thoroughly cleaned this hammer and sanitized it. After I pounded out the chicken, they seemed to get twice as big, so I cut each one in half. Plus this way, you have more meat for your meal. Set your chicken aside. Now you're going to get out 3 bowls. The first bowl, you add together flour, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Mix it up, then set it aside. Then get out your second bowl. This will require some finesse for some people, but you'll need to crack 3 eggs in this bowl. If you get shells, well, I guess that's extra crunch. After the eggs are plopped, give them a bit of mixing. It's all in the wrist. Add about 1/3 of a cup of milk to this, I guessed here. Then whisk it together. To get your next bowl ready, you'll need some breadcrumbs. I use these Italian croutons. Just place them in a Ziploc bag, put it under a towel so to not puncture the bag, and roll them out with a rolling pin. This can take a bit of time, so I'll use my food processor. You'll want your breadcrumbs pretty fine. This process can be very Just pour your breadcrumbs into your 3rd bowl and mix it with some powdered Parmesan. Then set all 3 bowls aside. Now to make your sauce, I use spicy diced tomatoes, whole peeled tomatoes, and tomato sauce. First, pour the whole peeled tomatoes into a pan and squish them up with your hands. This will get messy. After that fun time, add the diced tomatoes and the sauce. The only seasoning I used is just regular Italian seasoning with some salt and pepper. Don't be afraid to be a bit generous with the seasoning. Put your pan on the stovetop on medium-low and let it simmer. The next thing is my favorite part, but I like to get my hands dirty. If you haven't noticed, this is a fairly messy meal to make. You place a piece of chicken in the first bowl, which is your flour mixture, roll it around until it's completely covered. Then in a second bowl with the egg mixture, making sure it is completely covered. Finally, in the crumbs. That's the good stuff, so make sure it is fully coated. Repeat with each piece of chicken. I will also set them on a flat surface with plastic wrap on top and press them down with maybe my pan, just to make sure that those crumbs stay on. Now in an iron skillet, I filled it up with olive oil and vegetable oil until it's about 1/4 of an inch deep. Carefully add each chicken into your frying pan. And hear it sizzle. Once they've cooked for about 5 minutes on each side, flip them over. You'll notice they're golden brown. That's what you want to see. That golden brown color is perfect. So flip them over, cook them for another 5 minutes, and place them on a towel. Here, I use the brick mozzarella. That is just my preference, but if you prefer, you can get the sprinkled kind. So I cleaned off my iron skillet, let it cool, then I poured a little sauce on the bottom. I placed the chicken on top. As I poured some sauce on each piece of chicken, I make sure to leave the edges bare just to keep them crispy. And then you can add the cheese on top of that. So you set your oven to broil and set it to the lowest temp, which is about 300 to 325, and cook until the cheese is nicely golden brown on top. I then place my basil in a stack, roll it up, and then cut it in thin slices, and this technique is actually called chiffonade. It's a French term, I do believe. But it makes your basil nice and sprinkly. Cook your noodles. I use linguine. And finally take out your chicken. Oh, doesn't that look good? Your pan is very heavy. I had to put my camera down. Doesn't that look tasty? Oh, it's so good. Prepare your plate with your noodles, sauce, and chicken. Sprinkle with Parmesan and your basil. Like the Italians say, buon appetito!